For no pay, no contract, no nothing. Because Kenner's brother, Lance de Sauvenard, was dating my sister, Gina. That's why. They sat on a blanket, fingers entwined like 10th graders, watching us sweat in the afternoon sun. Gina had read in some earlier scenes, and every so often Lance made a note on a yellow pad. His job would be cinematographer. I'd done some acting in Hollywood, commercials and voiceovers, and the jobs around the edges you take when you're trying to hustle a career. I was putting most of that behind me as I studied for my law degree, which I wanted for security for my little boy and me, and because I'd been bitten by the crime and punishment bug a couple of years ago. Life in California had agreed with Gina, a relative newcomer to this seductive, challenging city. Her skin glowed, the sun had touched her chestnut hair with copper, and her waist was trim from organic eating and the occasional spin on my bike around our West Hollywood neighborhood. She and Lance looked good together, I had to say. He was beefier than his older brother in a playground sort of way, enthusiastic and cheerful. Wavy auburn hair and a quick smile, great teeth. I appreciate good cheer in a guy. Reflexively, my eyes scanned the picnic area for Petey. He climbed and swung from tree to tree like a gibbon, viewed by an awed group of little Mexican girls and their mothers who were spreading tablecloths for a birthday celebration. He spotted one of the mothers holding a piñata uncertainly beneath a tree and scrambled over to help. "Use a bunt line hitch," Daniel called to him. Daniel, my treasured buddy, had been teaching Petey knots on their frequent climbing and bouldering excursions in the San Gabriels. In a minute, the piñata was dangling at the precise right height for the diminutive girls and their sawed-off broomstick. "Gracias," called one of the little girls as Petey swung away. "Okay, gracias," he called back. Everybody smiled. I was proud of my boy. Daniel and I went on reading, and when Kenner stopped us again to give me some bit of micro-direction, I said, "Kenner, this is only a read-through." I know, he agreed quickly. "And I'm really grateful to you two for doing this. Your skills are really amazing. You're amazing people, Rita and Daniel. You are amazing to the max." That sounded like suck-up bullshit, but then he said, "I am fortunate." He said that sentence with such quiet feeling that I forgave him the whole thing. I could even overlook the fact that his safari shirts were monogrammed. That was Kenner. He'd act like a self-important bore. Then he'd open up this little portal to the sincere good guy inside, and you'd regain your respect for him. We were, however, doing this read-through solely as a favor to Gina. Daniel and I gamely worked to bring the proper gravitas to this hyper-grim art film that Kenner expected would go big at the festivals. The script was studded with montages like flower petals, pine cone symmetry, Christopher and Ingrid feeding each other raven meat. As we read the existential angst dialogue, I felt increasingly uncomfortable as I realized that Kenner's hopes were rising by the minute that Daniel and I would actually do this movie. Then I turned a page and saw a stage direction calling for the character of Ingrid to be bathing in a Stygian pond the next morning. And immediately my nude scene radar activated. Sure enough, after a few more lines, she rises, moving smoothly to the shallows, where Christopher waits, also free of clothing, which marked the end of Act 1. I looked at Kenner, who was watching me hopefully. I said, I can't actually do this picture, so there's no point in me telling you I don't do nude scenes." He shrugged in a good-natured way. I helped Gina spread out lunch. "So what do you think of Night for Dark?" Kenner asked, sipping Chablis from a plastic cup. I had to admire him for that, having the guts to ask such an open-ended question about his own script. Most beginning writers are too cowardly to be that frank. Instead, they'll prompt you with something like, "Do you think it has potential?" Or, yet more craven, "Which of its strengths do you like best?" Which, of course, you can always answer something nice to, because even a blank sheet of paper has potential, and even a dismal, cliché-ridden piece of crap has strengths, if you count that if placed under running water, it will hold together better than the leading facial tissue. Kenner perched on a picnic table, his legs crossed like a thoughtful talk show host, awaiting our answers. He was built like a tomato steak, great vertical presence without much visible flesh on him. Very different.